In 2013, my grandfather was diagnosed. Well, he was diagnosed the year prior, but when I went to visit him, it was around end of 2012, beginning 2013, and he had chosen the conventional approach, chemotherapy, radiation, and that made him very, very sick. And by the time I saw him, his hair had fallen out from the chemo. He was weak, he was frail, he was in pain, and he was suffering. And I was already deep into a natural health journey and spiritual deep dive about maybe 7, 8 years before that, leading up to that point. And when I saw him, I knew there had to be something I could do to help him, but I didn't know what. I was like most people about cancer. I didn't know what caused cancer. I didn't know how to treat cancer naturally. I didn't know what herbs, what supplements, what dietary lifestyle changes. I didn't know really anything about cancer, and I was completely helpless and hopeless. And like I wanted to help him, but I couldn't. If you've ever felt that. And then he passed away shortly after that in 2013. And from that moment forward, that year, I actually produced one of the first ever natural, integrative and natural focused summits online about cancer. It was called the Cure to Cancer Summit. And I think there was one other summit that was done that year, the year before, and then for some reason they never continued. So I brought together, I think like 30 integrative doctors and functional medicine doctors and cancer conquerors and people who'd been treating cancer naturally and holistically and using integrative medicine, and brought them all together and had them share what causes cancer, what's working, how are they reversing cancer using holistic and natural approaches, and cancer conquerors sharing their stories. And it was super inspiring. I learned a lot from that. And we probably had 30 or 40,000 people attend that first one. And then I did it again. And then I hosted a conference and then started a magazine and then a documentary series and a documentary. And then I wrote a book and a masterclass, and it just went on and on and on. And over the last 13 years, we've reached somewhere around 4 million, 5 million people through my series and my summits and my events. And I've found the patterns. Eventually, after you look at hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of studies, and you do hundreds and hundreds of hours of interviews, and you do thousands of hours of research, you find the patterns. What's causing not just cancer, but I also noticed the same causes in autoimmune disease, the same causes in heart disease, the same causes in diabetes, the same causes in every major disease that we're facing today. These are all lifestyle-related diseases that are primarily preventable. Again, I didn't know a lot of this. Intuitively, I knew, but I didn't really know what were the causes, what were the solutions, what could we do about it, how could we prevent it, how could we do things naturally to empower our bodies to heal. So as I was learning, I was sharing it with others. I would learn, I would share it, and I would just put that information out for free, and then people would buy our DVDs or attend our conferences and things like that. And and then I ended up joining the board of the Beljanski Foundation. And I volunteered there for about 3 or 4 years. I helped produce those conferences because I loved what they were doing in wanting to further scientific research into natural solutions for cancer. And the more research we have, which at this point we have somewhere between at least 80,000 published studies on natural solutions for every disease on the planet. And most medical doctors today are not told this. They don't know this. I still get messages from med students that say, our professors tell us that there's no science on natural solutions at all, and this is all quackery. And I send them a link to Green Med Info, which links to over like 80,000 peer-reviewed published studies on all different natural scientific studies that have been done for everything from lupus and Crohn's to cancer and autoimmune disease of all kinds. And there's like over 100 autoimmune diseases at this point, neurological diseases, you name it. So we have tremendous research, but most people don't know about it. And we still need more research. We still need more because there's still so much to discover scientifically. But at the end of the day, whether you choose conventional or natural, holistic or integrative, I think the most important thing is to understand what is causing these diseases, and then how can we live our lives in a way that, number one, prevents the diseases in the first place to the best of our ability, and then number two, how can we empower our minds and bodies to heal themselves when we are diagnosed with something? And there's so many solutions. That's the beautiful thing. That's why, I just keep doing the work I do, whether they censor me or delete my accounts or pull videos down or whatever. It's like I just keep spreading the information because it's important. It saves people's lives. I mean, when I get emails from people that say, we followed your programs and my stage 4 cancer is gone, like, how can I not keep, spreading the word and putting the information out there?